Hi, hello, it's Anne. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a brand new bullet journal setup video. In this video, I'm gonna be setting up my bullet journal for the month of July, and I decided to go with this dog rose theme, which is, I think, my favorite theme of the year. I really wanted to do something pink, and then I was struggling to come up with something. I asked my friends and my family for advice on what theme to make, and I got like summer and beach themes, and I know that some of you guys have suggested to do like a beach theme for a while, but I just can't find the inspiration for it. And like I enjoy the beach theme idea. I just, like, when I try to think of a way to execute it, my mind goes blank. So maybe maybe at some point when inspiration strikes, I'm gonna attempt that, but as of now I just wasn't feeling it. So yeah, I decided to do a dog rose theme because I like pink and I like flowers. And fun fact, when I have two cousins on my mom's side, and so my nan and grandpa have 4 grandchildren. So it's me and my brother and then my 2 cousins. And they had like flower names for all of us, and each and every one of us had a flower attached to our name. So like one of my cousins was like their little sunflower, and I was a dog rose. And that sounds way prettier in Swedish. I don't know if it's just me, but in Swedish it's nyponros. And I think it's just feels like home to me. Just watching this now after I've already done it, and just looking back to the results, it's a very like nostalgic spread, and it just reminds me of my childhood and just spending time with my nan and grandpa and my cousins and just playing around in their garden and, you know, things that children do. And yeah, it's just really nice, and it's making me really happy to look at. Also, I'm really happy with the fact that I decided to kind of scale everything down and just make the roses and like minimal embellishments otherwise. So basically it's like a whole black and white kind of really simple line theme throughout the setup, and then I just have these pops of colors with the roses, and that's it. You know, there's no funny business and no clutter, and I like that it's like nice and neat and clean looking. And I'm really happy with the font that I decided to use, which is actually not a font. Usually I would try to find a font that I like and then try to replicate it in my bullet journal, but this month I decided to just go with my cursive handwriting and you know, slash what do you call it, like faux calligraphy, because I don't know how to do calligraphy. If you want to see me attempt to do calligraphy, please let me know in the comments down below, and I will I will give it a go. Yeah, that's that's my thoughts on the theme. That's a ramble. Okay, so now I'm setting up my calendar spread, and this is, you know, it's a calendar in a spread. That's where it got the name. I don't know what to say about this. It's literally just a calendar, and then you have you know, basically like a monthly overview is how I use this. And I used to have a section where I put my monthly tasks, but I decided that I was gonna remove that because I wasn't using it, because I was writing down my monthly task on the next page that you're gonna see me setting up, and it just felt redundant. So I decided to just scrap that altogether and yeah, just keep it really simple, and I am so happy I did. The watercolors, by the way, that I'm using, that you can see on the side, is my Schmincke watercolors. I still haven't tried out my Daniel Smith watercolors yet. I am waiting for an opportunity, so to speak, to have the time to just sit down and play around with them. But I did actually receive a dot chart of I think 200 something colors from Daniel Smith. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna swatch everything out and then make a really educated decision on what colors I would like in my palette. And I figured I'm gonna also make a video on this and my thoughts on choosing, you know, what colors that I want to put in my palette, because that's I think it's a very personal thing, you know. There's not one size fits all palette, you know. Obviously you have like the split primary sets that most people would recommend, because basically you can mix any color from that. But I think that a watercolor palette is something that's very personal, and I for one at least enjoy watching other people set up their palettes and kind of hear the reasoning behind choosing certain colors, and you know, the properties of the paint and things like that. So yeah, if that's something that you want to see, just hang on tight, and probably in like a couple of months that video will be up. I'm working on it, okay? I'm doing my best. So yeah. This spread right here is my this month's setup along with my hours worked, which is you know, the left hand page is where I write down if there's any habits that I want to track, which there isn't, because I realized that I never ever use my habit tracker. So I think last month I tried it again, and or this month, I guess, because it's June as I'm recording this, but I have not filled it out basically at all. And yeah, I just feel like it's a waste of time setting it up when I know I'm not using it, and it's a waste of space in my journal. So I'm just not gonna bother with it unless I feel very inclined to at some point in the future. But as of now, I'm just gonna scrap the habit tracker and move on with my life. The right hand page is where I write down all of my hours that I work, obviously, and yeah, that's that's that. Now we are moving on to my monthly budget, which is my expense tracker on the left hand page, and my budget envelope, budget envelope, I don't know. Whichever, it's my budget system. And if you're familiar with the budget envelope system, it's basically, you know, you have different categories where you budget different amounts, obviously, and in each envelope you put the amount of money that you have budgeted for the period of time, whether it's the month or the week or whatever, you know. And as you're buying things, you're taking money from said envelope that, you know, if you're buying food, you're gonna take it from the food account, and so on. And once the money runs out in the envelope, the budget has been reached. If you need more than that, you're over budget. And this is basically like analog way of doing that in just paper form without actual cash, because let's face it, who does cash anymore? So yeah, if you want a more in-depth kind of explanation on how I use this, I will link a very old video of mine where I walk you through a whole bunch of economy and finance spreads in my bullet journal, and both like setting it up and also walking you through like step by step exactly how I use the spread. So if that's something that you want to see, I will link it as per usual in the little information card above, along with the description box down below. So yeah, it's there if you need it. Okay, last but not least, we have the weekly setup, and this month I decided to keep it super duper simple. If you watched my last setup, you know how excited I was to try the whole Dutch door kind of situation, but yeah, that did not work out for me at all. That was not a good fit. I was so excited about it too, but it was like crash and burn setup. Like, I've been planning on post-it notes for the majority of this month. So yeah, that was, I realized all I need is basically a space to write things in, and I want to have an overview on exactly like if I have anywhere to be that day and what my priorities are. So my whole plan with this setup is to have that little section underneath where it says the day. I'm gonna have my top priorities and if I have any appointments, and then underneath that second line I'm gonna put just my kind of running task list where, you know, just all the little tasks that I want to get done, but that isn't like the majority point of the day. So yeah, this way I can have a quick overview if I have any appointments or deadlines or whatever that I need to do that day, and at the same time have lots and lots of writing space. So fingers crossed this is my layout, I guess. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, that's my whole setup for this month, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider liking and subscribing, and if you didn't, then don't. That's fine too. Okay. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a lovely day or night or evening or whatever it is as you're watching this, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and happy planning. Bye!